Hi friends, in this tutorial I will cover how to scan a specific port on your target machine. So if you don't want, by default Nmap will scan the 1000 most common ports. Uh, so if you want to scan a particular port, in this tutorial I will cover how to scan a particular port by their number or name, or how to scan a range of ports. But before I start, I just want to make sure one thing very clear is that this video is for educational purposes and only done in Nmap in environments in which you have permission or in which you're allowed. So don't run it in environments in which you're not allowed, otherwise you might get in serious trouble for it. So let's get started. Let me just open the slides first. So scanning specific ports or port ranges. Now in here I have I'm showing you guys some examples that you can do. So the first one, it says Nmap PAT. What it then target. So what this PAT means is that it says just scan port AT. So by default it will scan port AT. We know that HTTP is running on TCP port AT, and in here I'm saying scan both ports AT and 443. So AT is for HTTP, 443 is for HTTPS. You can also specify this dash or a hyphen P and then another hyphen. So what it means is that scan all the ports. But if you want to make sure that you're scanning not only one port but also a specific port, of like how do I say it? It's like, do you want to scan TCP or UDP ports? You can specify it in here. So in here, what I'm saying is that scan TCP port AT and scan UDP. U is for UDP, T is for TCP port. In here, I'm specifying 53. So TCP port AT is HTTP and UDP port 53 is DNS. So on UDP port 53, DNS servers might run, and on a port AT, HTTP might run. So by default they run on this port. So some organizations, some people might change it, but this is how by default it works. And the last one, it says that Nmap PHTTP. So what it means is that scan the HTTP port. So by default it is port AT. So by default what it will do is that it will scan port AT. So these are the different ways in which you can scan these ports. Now I'm doing this in here on this one. So I've already run this before. So in here I'm specifying Nmap, and then I'm saying P445. It is the Samba port, and this is a target machine. So what it is saying is host is up. This message in here, the port is 445 TCP, the state is open, and the service is Microsoft DS. So I'm scanning my my Windows Server 2016 that I have in my lab environment. It shows its MAC address. It is saying that this is this MAC address. It is saying in here, this is the type of machine that it is running. I'm running it on a virtual box, and it says that one host is up and the scan completed in 13.49 seconds. So this is just one example. You can use the other examples that I show you guys in the slides. So if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to put it in the comment section below, or but make sure you don't run Nmap in environments in which you don't have any permissions. So this is it for this tutorial, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.